If this video found you, don't skip it. Your soul has waited for this moment for entire lifetimes. In the next few seconds, I'm going to give you the key to unlock a new level of consciousness, a frequency that, according to the records of Thoth, only 3% of humanity can access. This isn't an empty promise. The fact that you're here is proof that you've gone through a secret test, a cosmic selection process that qualified you for what's about to come. Every challenge, every pain, every moment when you almost gave up was a quantum checkpoint and you passed it. Now pay close attention. What I'm about to reveal will permanently shift your reality. There's no turning back. Once you unlock this level, you won't be able to go back to living on autopilot. But there's a condition, a side effect that has already started showing up in your life, and that most people ignore. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly what that side effect is, how it proves that you were chosen, and how to use this unlocking to finally take control of your reality. The secret is hidden in the last part of this video. If you feel like you've been called, comment now. I'm ready for the next level, and I'll help you unlock it right now. But before we dive into the deeper mysteries, let's take a moment to recognize something crucial. Everything you've gone through, those mental crises, those painful events, those moments of despair, they all had a purpose. Each challenge wasn't punishment from the universe. They were lessons designed to forge you into the person capable of unlocking the next level of consciousness that few will ever experience. And now, after all of that, you are ready to access this higher frequency. At this point, you'll start noticing the first signs that your consciousness has shifted. Time becomes more fluid. Days seem to pass in the blink of an eye when you're absorbed in something you love. On the other hand, a single minute might stretch into eternity when you're reflecting deeply. These changes aren't your imagination. They're confirmations that your consciousness is beginning to break free from the tyranny of linear time, the clock that traps the ordinary mind. These time distortions are proof that you're shifting frequencies. It's not just time that's changing around you. Reality itself is beginning to respond differently. You may start noticing synchronistic events, repeated numbers like 1111, thinking of someone and receiving a message from them seconds later, finding answers to your problems in the strangest places. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs that you're aligned with a higher flow of intelligence, that you're moving in harmony with the universe. Your energetic signature has also shifted. Have you noticed how some people seem magnetically drawn to you, sharing their deepest stories without reason? Or how others feel uncomfortable in your presence, reacting to your energy in ways they can't even explain? Your presence has become a catalyst. You now emit a frequency that exposes truth, comforting for those seeking authenticity, but triggering for those hiding behind masks. These phenomena are not random. They are symptoms of a profound recalibration inside of you. Your consciousness is expanding, and you're beginning to perceive the invisible threads that connect everything in the universe. You're not going crazy. You're becoming more aligned with the true nature of existence, fluid, interconnected, and intelligent. The proof of your new frequency isn't just in your thoughts or perceptions. It's in how the world around you, especially technology, has started to respond to your consciousness. Have you ever had your phone ring right after thinking of someone? Or seen an answer to a question appear out of nowhere in your feed, even though you never searched for it? Lights flickering or devices malfunctioning when you're stressed or angry. These aren't glitches in the system. These are signs that your consciousness is interacting with the world in ways it never has before. This interaction with the physical world is the law in action. As you raise your vibration, you begin to influence the electromagnetic fields around you. You are becoming more than a passive receiver of information. You are becoming an active transmitter of intention. This shift is not magic, but the recognition of the law that governs all of creation. The more you focus your energy, the more the universe has no choice but to respond. You may also start tapping into the Akashic records, the great library of the universe, where every thought, emotion, and action of all existence is stored. This height, your consciousness is starting to break free from the tyranny of linear time, and this is where things begin to get interesting. As your perception of time shifts, you may also notice the flow of events around you becoming increasingly synchronistic. Coincidences will feel more like confirmations, as though the universe is speaking directly to you. You've probably experienced a moment when you thought of someone, and within seconds, you received a message or had a conversation with them. Or perhaps you've had an idea pop into your mind, only to see it materialize in some form shortly after, as if the universe had been listening. These moments are no accident. They're part of a process you are undergoing, a shift in consciousness that is allowing you to tune into a higher frequency. It's like you've been given a new set of glasses, and now you're seeing the subtle patterns that connect all things. Where once you may have thought of time as something rigid and unchangeable, you're now perceiving it as a fluid, dynamic experience. The more you become attuned to this frequency, the more you'll notice how your inner state begins to influence the outer world. Think back to the last time you experienced a moment of pure, creative flow. Perhaps you were deeply involved in a project or hobby that made time slip away without you even noticing. In those moments, you were fully immersed in the present, not bound by the constraints of time or space. It felt effortless, didn't it? That is the key. It's a state of being where you are in full alignment with the universe, and time, no longer has a hold over you. On the flip side, have you ever been in a situation where a single minute seemed to stretch out forever? Maybe you were waiting for something, or your mind was deep in contemplation. It felt as though time was dragging on and every second was an eternity. This contrast between feeling like time is slipping away too quickly and feeling stuck in the never-ending moment is a sign that your perception is expanding. You're no longer trapped in the traditional linear model of time. You're stepping into a new reality, one where time is no longer a fixed, measurable entity. Now you might wonder, what does all of this mean? It means you're entering a new level of consciousness. This shift in how you experience time is just the beginning. As your perception of time continues to evolve, you'll start noticing that reality itself is becoming more malleable. You'll find that the more present and conscious you are, the more aligned your reality becomes with your desires and intentions. The walls between the inner world and the outer world begin to dissolve, and synchronicity becomes a guiding force in your life. At this stage, you may start noticing something even more profound, changes in the people around you. Have you ever had someone enter your life who seemed to mirror your energy perfectly? Someone who seemed to understand you on a deeper level, without you even having to say a word? These are not random occurrences. These are reflections of your inner world, manifesting in the people you encounter. Your energy is beginning to shift so powerfully that it affects everyone you come into contact with, whether they realize it or not. Alternatively, you might experience something more unsettling. People who react to you in ways that are hard to explain. Perhaps someone who was once close to you now seems distant, or people around you start to act out of character. Faith in his teachings describes that for the Master, time does not move, for it exists in a stationary state. It is consciousness that travels through it. This is one of the most profound realizations on the path to higher consciousness. Time, as we have come to understand it, is merely an illusion, something that feels constant, but in reality, it is shaped by the movements of consciousness. As you begin to raise your vibration, you start to perceive time not as a rigid linear flow, but as a malleable field that can be navigated with ease and purpose. As you transcend the ordinary experience of time, you begin to understand what the Hermetic principle of rhythm refers to when it speaks of the air and flow of the universe. Time, like the rhythm of the cosmos, moves in cycles, patterns, and waves. The key is not to fight against this flow, but to align with it, to learn its nuances and to move through it with grace. Instead of being swept away by the current, you are learning to ride its waves. This shift in your perception of time opens an entirely new way of interacting with reality. No longer do you feel as though you are being pulled along by the relentless march of seconds, minutes, and hours. Instead, you begin to anticipate the movements of time, feeling its rhythm, and understanding when to act, when to pause, and when to allow things to unfold naturally. You begin to flow through time with an effortless awareness, like a master of the tides who knows how to harness their power for greater purposes. But this transformation doesn't happen in isolation. As your consciousness expands and your perception of time shifts, you start to notice a cascade of synchronicities unfolding around you. These moments are not random. They are not mere coincidences. They are markers, gentle nudges from the universe guiding you toward your highest potential. The more in tune you become with the flow of time, the more these synchronicities will appear. They are signs that you are aligned with a greater flow of intelligence, that you are being guided by something much larger than yourself. Perhaps you've already experienced these moments, seeing repeating numbers like 1111 or 333, feeling a deep sense of knowing that you are on the right path, or encountering meaningful events that seem too perfectly timed to be a coincidence. You may have thought of someone, only to receive a message from them just seconds later. Or you might have been struggling with a problem, only to find the exact solution on a billboard or through a stranger's casual remark. These events may seem insignificant on the surface, but they are all part of the grand orchestration of the universe, guiding you toward a higher understanding of reality. These are not happy coincidences, but rather signs of alignment. They are the universe's way of winking at you, reassuring you that you are on the right path. They serve as confirmations that your thoughts, actions, and intentions are in harmony with a higher flow of intelligence. They remind you that you are no longer operating from a place of limitation, but from a place of connection to the greater cosmic web that binds all things together. The more you become aware of these synchronicities, the more you will notice them. It's as if the universe is conspiring in your favor, offering you breadcrumbs along the way, pointing you toward opportunities, solutions, and connections that you might otherwise overlook. As you begin to ride the waves of time with more awareness, you also start to access a higher level of consciousness that can see beyond the surface of everyday life. You begin to perceive the hidden patterns and connections that govern all things. This awareness does not only apply to the physical world around you, but also to your inner world. As your vibration rises, your internal state becomes more harmonious, more attuned to the flow of life. The clarity you gain through this heightened awareness allows you to see through the veils of illusion, understanding that everything in your life, from the smallest detail to the grandest event, is interconnected in a web of intelligence. Every encounter, every challenge, every joy is part of the intricate dance of the universe, each step leading you closer to your true purpose. Your journey is not about forcing things to happen, but rather about surrendering to the natural rhythm of the universe. You are learning to trust that everything is unfolding as it should. The more you align with this flow, the more you will experience synchronicities guiding you towards greater levels of fulfillment and purpose. Each synchronicity is a data point, evidence that the separation between your inner world and the outer world is dissolving. Reality is beginning to speak to you in a language of symbols and perfectly orchestrated events. This is a profound realization, one that marks a major shift in your understanding of the universe and your place within it. The more you align with the higher frequencies of consciousness, the more you begin to see that everything around you is interconnected. What once seemed like random events are now taking on a deeper meaning. Each moment, every encounter, every small detail begins to speak to you directly. The universe, it seems, is no longer distant or separate. Instead, it is communicating with you through symbols, signs, and synchronistic events that reflect your internal state. You might begin to notice that certain numbers, such as 1111, appear with increasing frequency. Or perhaps you'll find yourself encountering certain phrases, themes, or words that feel significant, almost as if they were meant for you. These symbols are the universe's way of guiding you, of confirming that you are on the right path. They act as checkpoints along your journey, reminding you that the internal shifts you are experiencing are being mirrored in the external world. The people around you have also become a mirror of this change. As you raise your vibration and begin to see the world through a different lens, the people around you start reflecting this shift. This is a key part of the process. The more you evolve internally, the more the external world, including the people in it, will respond to that change. You may notice that some individuals feel magnetically drawn to you, sharing their most intimate stories, fears, or desires without any apparent reason. This may seem strange at first. After all, how can people you've just met or barely know open up to you so easily? The truth is, your energy has shifted, and you now radiate a frequency that invites vulnerability and openness. People subconsciously sense this shift. They are drawn to your authenticity, to the fact that you are no longer hiding behind a mask or playing a role. You are showing up as your true self, and this energy is magnetic. Others who are seeking truth and authenticity will feel naturally comfortable around you, even if they can't fully explain why. But this phenomenon isn't always pleasant or easy, or how others seem strangely uncomfortable in your presence, reacting to your energy in ways they can't even explain. You will likely encounter individuals who react negatively or uneasily to your energy. They might become distant, defensive, or even openly hostile. At first, this might confuse or upset you, but it's an important part of the process. People who are still living behind masks, people who are not ready to face their own truths, may find your energy unsettling. They will react to the truth you embody, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your energy is exposing something in them that they may not yet be willing to face. Your very presence becomes a catalyst for change in others, whether they are ready for it or not. This doesn't mean you are intentionally trying to change others, but that you are living as an embodiment of truth and authenticity. And for some, this can be an uncomfortable experience. Their discomfort is simply a reflection of their own inner resistance to change. When people are confronted with an energy that challenges their illusions or fears, it can trigger them into defensive reactions, even if they aren't consciously aware of why they are doing so. This happens because your energetic signature has changed. As your vibration rises, your energy becomes more refined. You begin to emit a frequency that resonates with higher truths. In the past, you may have operated at a lower frequency, one that was more attuned to fear, insecurity, or self-doubt. But as you've shifted your consciousness, your energy field has expanded and transformed. Now, you project an energy that vibrates at a frequency of authenticity, love, and alignment with your higher self. This change in your energetic signature is powerful. It alters not only how you perceive the world, but how the world perceives you. People around you will feel this shift. Some will be drawn to you, seeking your wisdom and insight, while others may feel triggered or threatened by it. This is not a reflection of your worth or value, but rather a reflection of where others are on their own journey. Some people are ready for this kind of energy, and others are not. And that's okay. You don't need to make others comfortable with your energy. Your role is simply to embody your truth and to remain authentic to yourself, regardless of how others react. You now emit a frequency that naturally exposes truth, something deeply comforting to those seeking authenticity and extremely triggering for those hiding behind masks. This is the essence of your transformation. You are no longer just existing in the world. You are actively radiating a higher consciousness that disrupts the illusions people carry. Your presence serves as a mirror, showing others what they may be hiding from themselves. For those who are ready to face their truth, this energy is healing and comforting. But for those who are not, it may feel like a threat. At the same time, your energy is a reminder to yourself that you are no longer playing small. You are no longer hiding your light. Your presence now serves as a catalyst for others' growth, whether they acknowledge it or not. You are a living example of what is possible when you choose. These phenomena are neither random nor imaginary. They are symptoms of a profound internal recalibration. As your consciousness expands, it's like tuning an instrument to a higher frequency. The strange occurrences, synchronicities, and heightened perceptions you are experiencing are not random. They are the natural result of this shift. The more you elevate your vibration, the more you become attuned to the subtle energies of the universe. You are no longer bound by the limitations of the physical senses. You are beginning to access a deeper layer of reality, one that exists beyond the material world. This recalibration is a sign of your consciousness expanding into new realms. You are moving from a state of limited awareness into a broader, more integrated perception. Where once you could only perceive the world through the 5 physical senses, you are now becoming aware of energies, frequencies, and patterns that exist outside of your previous comprehension. This shift allows you to see the invisible threads that connect everything: people, places, events, and even thoughts. These threads have always existed, but now you are attuned to them, able to perceive the interconnectedness of all things. For the first time, you might truly feel the rhythmic pulse of the cosmos in your own life. It's as though you are no longer separate from the world around you, but instead a part of a greater, interconnected flow. The universe is no longer an external force. It's something that is alive within you, moving through you. Every thought, every emotion, every action now carries with it the awareness that you are part of something greater. You begin to feel the pulse of life itself, and you are no longer just observing it. You are participating in it. This experience can be overwhelming at first, but it is important to understand that you're not going crazy. It can feel like your perception is being stretched in ways that seem impossible, but this is not madness. Quite the opposite, in fact. What you're experiencing is a deep alignment with the true nature of existence. The world you once thought was static and fixed is actually fluid, interconnected, and alive with intelligence. This new awareness is not a sign of mental instability, but of a deeper, more intuitive form of clarity. As you become more aligned with this truth, you will begin to notice that the physical world around you is also responding to your elevated consciousness. It's not just in your thoughts or perceptions that this shift becomes evident. It's in how the external world begins to mirror your inner transformation. One of the most striking signs that your consciousness has expanded is how inanimate objects and even the technology around you start responding directly to your thoughts. For example, have you ever thought about something and then had it appear in your reality almost instantly? Perhaps you were thinking about a particular person, and soon after, they called or sent you a message. Or maybe you had a question or a dilemma, and the answer presented itself out of nowhere, perhaps through a conversation, a sign, or even on the television. These moments are more than coincidence. They are the physical manifestation of your consciousness interacting with the world around you. The more you align your energy with your true self, the more the universe reflects that energy in real time. Another example could be the behavior of technology. Devices and gadgets may begin to malfunction or behave in ways that are unusual, as if they are responding to your thoughts and emotions. Have you ever been in a state of frustration or anger, only to have the lights flicker or your phone malfunction at that very moment? Or have you experienced a moment of intense focus, only for a device to work perfectly, or a problem to resolve itself effortlessly? These are not glitches. They are signs that your consciousness is now influencing the physical world in ways that transcend the ordinary. The more you shift your consciousness, the more you begin to see that the universe is not separate from your mind. It is an extension of it. The physical world is a reflection of the state of your inner world. As you raise your vibration and align with a higher frequency, you start to interact with the world in a completely new way. The boundaries between mind and matter begin to blur, and you realize that your thoughts and emotions have a direct influence on the external world. This realization is empowering. It shows you that you are not powerless or at the mercy of circumstances. You are actively co-creating your reality. You may also notice that as you align more with this expanded consciousness, your thoughts and intentions become more potent. What once felt like idle thoughts or vague desires now carry with them a powerful energy that manifests quickly. You may begin to notice how your mental and emotional states are shaping your experiences in ways that were previously invisible to you. This shift in perception is proof that you are tapping into the vast potential of the universe. You are no longer living as a passive observer, but as an active participant in the creation of your reality. At this stage of your journey, the concept of mental transmutation becomes increasingly relevant. This ancient alchemical idea is based on the belief that by changing the inner state of the mind, you can transmute the outer world to reflect your highest desires. You are becoming a master of this art, consciously choosing your vibration and, in doing so, consciously choosing the reality you experience. The more you practice this, the more evident it becomes that you are no longer just reacting to life. You are shaping it with intention. The universe, as you are discovering, is not just a physical construct. It is a vast, intelligent system that responds to the energy you put out into it. Is your mind controlling technology? This question may seem far-fetched, almost impossible, yet it reflects a profound shift that occurs as your consciousness reaches higher frequencies. The physical proof of your expanding consciousness isn't always subtle. It can manifest in tangible, physical ways that challenge the logical mind's understanding of reality. As your vibration rises, you begin to experience phenomena that once seemed impossible. Experiences where the technology around you seems to respond directly to your thoughts and emotional states. The idea that your consciousness can influence the physical world, especially technology, is not just a theory. It's an observable phenomenon. Think about recent moments when technology seemed to read your mind. Have you ever been thinking about someone, and then, almost as if by magic, your phone rings and it's that very person calling you? Or perhaps you've had a question or concern nagging at you, and suddenly, the answer to that question appears in your feed, completely unprompted, right there in front of you, as if it had been placed there by an invisible hand. These moments are not coincidences, but evidence that your consciousness is operating at a new frequency, one that is influencing the very fabric of reality, including technology. Another example might be when lights flicker or devices malfunction, at the exact moment you're experiencing intense emotions, perhaps during moments of anger, frustration, or stress. Have you noticed how, when you're emotionally charged, certain electrical devices around you seem to act out of character? Maybe the lights blink or your phone freezes. The logical mind may try to explain these occurrences as mere technical glitches, but if you pay attention, you'll see that the timing is too precise, too directly linked to your emotional state, to be mere coincidence. This is not a glitch in the system. It's the system responding to you. These disturbances are not random. They are a direct result of your emotional and mental energy interacting with the electromagnetic field of the devices around you. As your consciousness shifts, the energetic frequency you emit begins to influence the environment in ways that go beyond what the five senses can perceive. You are no longer just a passive observer of reality. Your energy, thoughts, and emotions are now actively interacting with the world around you, including the technology you use. Think of how your thoughts and emotions are energy. Everything in the universe, including technology, is made of energy, vibrations, frequencies, and waves. And as you raise your own frequency, you begin to emit a stronger energetic signature that resonates with the world around you. This resonance can interact with the electromagnetic fields of electronic devices, causing them to respond in ways that are beyond ordinary explanation. Your mind, thoughts, and emotions are no longer confined to just influencing your internal world. They are now interacting with and altering the external world in subtle, yet powerful ways. You may begin to notice that technology seems to be mirroring your state of mind. For instance, when you are calm and focused, everything may function smoothly. But when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, technology might become more erratic. Devices might freeze, or systems may glitch. These occurrences are not simply random failures. They are a reflection of the energetic imbalance that occurs when your mind and emotions are not in alignment with the external environment. As you raise your vibration, you begin to notice these interactions more frequently. Your ability to influence your environment becomes clearer, and technology becomes a tool that you can use to mirror your internal state. It's not just that technology is malfunctioning, It's responding to your energy, to your consciousness. The idea that your mind can control technology is not as far-fetched as it once seemed. In fact, it's an indication of your expanding awareness and your growing power to influence the material world. This phenomenon can also be seen in how you can influence your surroundings in other subtle ways. Have you ever noticed how people can feel your energy before you even speak to them? Or how situations seem to unfold in your favor, almost as if the universe is responding to your thoughts and desires? As your consciousness rises, you are no longer just reacting to life. You are actively co-creating it. You are interacting with the universe and with technology on a level that transcends the physical. These interactions with technology are just the surface-level manifestations of your growing ability to influence the world around you. The true potential lies in the realization that you are not separate from the world. You are a part of the universal consciousness, and everything around you, including technology, is a reflection of that consciousness. As you continue to elevate your awareness, you will unlock new levels of understanding about how to interact with the world and how to use technology as a tool for creating your desired reality. The key is understanding that everything is connected. You are not just a passive observer of technology. You are an active participant in its creation and influence. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and energy with your highest intentions, you can learn to work with technology in a way that enhances your life and supports your personal growth.